why don't we dive in here? Why don't you tell us about Sheetly and what it's going to be able to do when you release it next month, hopefully.
Okay. Thank you for the lead-in. At Sheetly, we are doing product management. We're doing what every web merchant are doing every day to sell on the internet. We are managing, capturing product information, organizing product information, and then distributing the product information to where it wants and needs to go. And as Seller's Choice, you're a great exponent for this whole new omni-channel world where product data and web selling is everywhere. Yes, and that's the thing that we're trying to make easier, because product management is a necessity. It's always been around. We are not inventing the wheel here, but it's like in the old days, you also did bookkeeping before you had accounting software, and you also did selling before you had CRM systems. And so what we're coming with is a product that's going to make it easier and more scalable to work with product data. And as our product name says, it's based on the idea of a spreadsheet, which most web merchants, for good or bad, is very familiar with. Yes, because that's how you interact with the product data that you're getting from your suppliers or that you are manufacturing yourself and so forth and so forth. So that's what we do at Sheetly.
Okay. So before I dive into features and what it can and can't do and integrations, all that fun stuff, can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with this idea?
Yeah, it's as many things in the world, it's by accident or by coincidence. I have a brother who is sitting in Copenhagen, Denmark, and who's selling party costumes. Actually, an inspiration he and his family got from a trip to the US, which apparently you have a lot of parties and you go to costume parties a lot. And 10 years ago, they took this idea back to Denmark and started a small home shop business. In the early days of e-commerce, you know, when you could give Google a few dollars and you ran some AdWords, and then all of a sudden you had a lot of traffic. The good old days, yes.
Yeah.
Not the crazy days
not like today.
of today. And he kept saying to me, "Yeah, you've been working with CRM with the data for so many years. Can't you figure out how to make my world a lot easier? Can't you make my product data more manageable?" And I said, "Yeah, I can do that. Let's see if I can't come up with an idea." And then I looked into how they were doing it, and that was again spreadsheet. Back in the days before Google Sheet, it was good old-fashioned Excel spreadsheets and columns and pricings and SKU numbers and product descriptions. And I said, let's see if we can't put that in a cloud-based solution. And that's actually how it came about. So I helped my brother. That's how we ended up here. Okay.
How's his business doing?
His business is booming. He's the biggest costume shop in Scandinavia, and he's doing millions of dollars in revenue. Again, coming from a thing where they bought a few costumes in the US, brought them back home, and then, you know, one of the good stories of web shop selling, yes? Yeah. Start out humble, and then it's taking them 10 years to get here. It's not something that just happened overnight. It's been slugging it out, figuring out. One of the things that fueled my product idea was also that my brother realized that he was dying from paying Google AdWords. So I helped him manage the SEO information package that needed to go with each product better. So he actually a couple of years ago weaned off AdWords, and he's not using AdWords at all anymore, and he's doing pure product descriptive SEO selling marketing. And that has, of course, made a complete difference to his profit margins and made him more competitive with his, because he also has competitors in the Danish Scandinavian market, of course.
Wow. So, all right, let's pivot back. Let's go to Sheetly. So, do you have the ability? So I was looking at, I have your features list up on the side because the problem. So it's interesting when I do these videos, I'm always like, oh yeah, I've used your software before, I've done this, I've done that. But with you guys, you haven't launched yet, so I'm kind of like, I kind of know what you do. I've never played with it yet, though, so I don't know a lot. So it's going to be a lot of just standard high-level stuff. But so do you integrate with different marketplaces? Does it act like a listing tool, or is it more of a product management for your own store?
It's the product management for your own store and the increasing number of what we call channels that you need to promote curated product information to. Yes, so we are not a feed list management tool. We actually take care of what we call the soft underbelly of e-commerce. Yes, because I'm wearing a t-shirt with an elephant on it. You might describe it one way. I might describe it another way. What we are saying is product management is a fuzzy gray area of truth. Whereas in the feed management or supply chain management, it's about, do we have the product? Where is the product? Do we have them on stock? What is the price? And so on. And what we are trying to help web merchants with is in an intuitive environment to manage their product data and heighten the quality of the information that they can pass on to the consumer. Because again, on a web shop, you only get one chance when the buyer is sitting in front of your screen to actually try and persuade him to buy your product. So, of course, helping him choose the right pictures, helping him say, have you explained enough about the product? And again, if you're a serious, ambitious web shop, you likely have thousands of products, and not all of them are perfectly curated. So what our software also does is we do quality checks on your product data. So we will help you identify where you haven't done enough SEO description. We will help you where your product description might be a little bit too tame or too similar to most of your other product descriptions. We will help you identify where, God forbid, you forgot the picture, or the picture got corrupted, or you have no cross-sell, upsell options on a product because they've gone out of stock, for instance. So it's about basically just managing the chaos and complete myriads of data that all the time comes into the product universe. Because most web merchants also, they sell in seasons, and they get new products from their suppliers, and they might have multiple suppliers, and they now have a little black dress, and then which little black bag should we put in together with this black dress, and so forth and so forth. And that's just, it's a continuous Sisyphus effort, rolling the stone up the hill, and then it goes down again, and then you go back up again.
Yeah. So you haven't launched yet, and a majority of businesses end up pivoting, but let's assume that you guys don't. Who is your ideal seller right now?
My ideal seller?
Yeah. So what's the ideal customer who's going to be able to utilize Sheetly?
Okay. Yeah. So it's a web merchant that has more than 1,000 products in his catalog, and is either already looking to, but wants to go into different markets. It could be here in Europe, different languages. So what we also do is we do multi-dimensional product data, because the way I want to describe this, the t-shirt in English is one way. The way I want to describe it in German is not only maybe the language, of course it has to be German for Germans and English for English, but I might want to use a different kind of language, a tone for the German market than I want to do for the English market or the French market or the American market. So what we are servicing is this growing number of ambitious web merchants who are in the new wave of omnichannel, is recognizing that it's not enough just to put your product on your own web shop. You have to start putting it on more display windows in more context than you can actually possibly manage by yourself in a more kind of way. Did that make sense?
It did. Yeah. I think I lost you right at the end there. I think you lost your internet connection went out for a second there. Okay, what were you saying right at the end?
I was saying that we're trying to help web merchants make good on the promise of omnichannel, so that we are helping them both from a competitive point of view, but also from a pure labor point of view, make sure that you put the right product data in the right channel. So the obvious thing is, of course, you have lesser space for product descriptions if you want to put things on Pinterest than you have on your BigCommerce web shop or your Magento web shop. So how do we know which of the product descriptions that we need to shorten in order to service them to the right channel? Now again, this is done every day by a lot of web merchants, almost web merchants, but it's just done manually and cumbersome and error prone. Yes, and that's what we're trying to make, because the product description is the first impression of the product that you put in front of the customer.
Yeah. So a lot of SEO content side of stuff, but I see you guys also do image management. So how are you managing product images through Sheets?
We're basically just, again, helping you identify from your possibly thousands of pictures which of them are too big, which of them are out of the sorts, meaning a landscape picture in a sea of portrait pictures, and it's going to look weird on your web shop. Again, if you want to make a good impression on the on the web buyer, then being what do you call it, a solid impression, and that you have taken care of the details, that's going to make a better impression. Now, there are some web merchants, of course, only selling on speed and price of the product. They won't use our software so much. But most web merchants are in a competitive. I think I lost you there. Did you hear me, Andrew?
On your...
Can you hear me? Are we running into technical difficulties again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Interesting.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So it's funny, you know, you put out a notification that says like, hey, I'm doing a video at 3 o'clock on my phone. No one call me. And then what happens? Someone calls you, and it pauses everything, and it throws everything into a friggin', ugh. All right.
Okay, so, but we're back on. That's what you're saying, yes?
Yes, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay, fair enough. No, again, I'm just saying that the new battlefield of web e-commerce is omnichannel, yes? That it is being fought on so many small fronts, and it's the collective impression that you leave that makes the difference. And that not only goes as far as to you sell the t-shirt for the same price on all your channels, but it also goes as far as you present the t-shirt in a consistent but still optimized format for each channel, because it is not a one-size-fits-all. If you want to put your product on Instagram or Pinterest, you should care more about the picture. It should be a bigger quality, a high quality of it. But if you put it out on your Twitter feed, you have to care about how much have you described the product and so forth and so forth. So all of these channels has different needs and requirements. That's also what we try and help the web merchants manage better. Because and the playing field keeps changing. There's new things coming in. There's new things that they address in order for putting product data into the right context at the right time.
Yeah. So how certain are you it's going to release in September?
I am fairly certain. I've learned from a lot of years in software that you shouldn't say it's guaranteed, but I am fairly certain. I want to say that this is the third evolution. So actually right now, yes, the product is not launched, but we have been out field testing the product with a couple of hundred Magento web merchants over the last couple of years. And we have a partnership pending with the launch with Ecommerce. So we have both demand, we have a product that has been vetted, we have been going through with a fine-tooth comb to see what features needs to be there and which one should we possibly leave for later. So this is not a first try out of the gate. This is basically the final commercial, fully capable platform that we are rolling out for the web merchants.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you joining me. I don't want to take up too much more of your day. Would you mind giving us some closing statements, let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find us on Ravelzone, which is our blog. You mentioned that earlier on. And then you can find us at Sheetly, which is a spreadsheet, sheetly.io. And you can sign up for an early list of access to the software. And otherwise, stay tuned because you're going to hear a lot more about us in the month to come.
It's awesome. Really appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. I'm going to end up throwing all this fun stuff up on YouTube and everything so we can obviously keep this going and people will be able to find you in the future if they weren't able to join us today. But thank you so much. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to the launch. Good luck.
Thank you.
Have a good one.